Barolo and Barbaresco are two of Italy's and the world's greatest red wines. Based off Nebbiolo, both are in Piedmont, aka Piemonte in Italian. Nebbiolo is a grape that doesn't have a lot of color. It's early budding, late ripening. It's full of tannins and acidity. It can make really, really tough wines. I know one time I was with a famous wine writer, Andrew Jefford, and he said, man, think about it. If Barolo was introduced today with those high tannins, it'd be a difficult wine to sell. Barolo is named after the village of Barolo and the surrounding 11 communes where Barolo can be made. There's less than 2,000 hectares of vineyards. Barbaresco is about a 25-minute drive away. There's less than 700 hectares and 4 communes. Both Barolos and Barbarescos cannot be grown on north-facing slopes. They have to be grown on south-facing slopes. Barbaresco, the grapes ripen a little bit earlier. They're known to be more feminine, while Barolo is the king of wines. But I have to tell you, in terms of blind tasting, it's very difficult to spot the difference. In fact, last week with my collector friends, we did a big Piedmont Reds tasting, and I got all the Barolos and Barbarescos confused, especially with age. Barolos need to be aged at least 38 months before they're released, 62 months for the Reserva. Barbaresco must be aged for at least 26 months before it's released, and 50 months if it's a Reserva. The old idea is that in the past, you needed to age these wines for at least 10 or 20 years before they were enjoyable. However, depending on producer, the commune, the style, and modern technology, I find the wines to be pretty enjoyable young, especially from a good vintage like 2019, which we have several here today. Barolo was the first fine wine region that I ever visited. This was back in 2015, right when I was starting to get in the wine industry. I like the stories of people that have been in the industry for a long time, and they were talking about even as early as the late 90s, the early 2000s, you could go into any of the famous cellars and buy older vintages. Of course, that's not the deal today. Barolos, Barbarescos are shooting up in price, especially Barolo, like the most expensive one, Monfortino, that goes for $1,000 a bottle if you can find it. In general, I prefer Barbarescos because I feel like you can find more value for money when you're in the region, which is a great region for food, both Barolo and Barbaresco. Barbaresco has more trees, where the region of Barolo is just completely covered in vine. All right, I have 3 Barolos, 3 Barbarescos. I'm gonna try to taste the difference. I don't think I can, but we'll see. Okay, got my trusty notepad ready. Let's start out with wine number 1. I Coravined these and had somebody mix them up for me. These wines don't have insane color. When I'm looking for Barolos, Barbarescos, I'm thinking of rose petal, perfume, tar, especially with young. Oh, this smells great right off the back. Cranberry, aniseed, sour cherry, a little bit of leather. It smells really good. Perfume, cedar. Oh, God, these wines are so magical. Burgundy nuts flock to these regions because there's really an emphasis on terroir, single site location. In Barolo, Barbaresco, they have what they call UGAs. These are single vineyards. I think there's over 80 in Barolo. It's something like that. This literally tastes on the back end. What I love about Barolo Barbarescos, it tastes almost like a cherry fruit roll-up on the back end. These tannins are really quite soft for a young Barolo, young Barbaresco. Tannins from Nebbiolo are so small, they can really be biting. They can really be drying across the gums. This is not. I think this is Barbaresco. This is an excellent wine to start. I think it's exceptional, and it's drinking well now. That is gorgeous. Let's move on to number 2. 2 has some reddening, so some brick red around the edges. That's common for aged Barolos, Barbarescos. This smells like it has a little more development. I think I have some 2018s as well. A lot of tar here, just tons of tar and cedar. You get some dried cranberry note. This is developed. It's not as perfumed, it's pretty. It's more fruity, cedary, and leathery. This is gorgeous. The tannins are a little bit bigger. It's developed. This thing is ready to drink right now. I like this because it's ready to, oh, the tannins are really big. You're gonna need steak with this. I think 1 tastes younger and it's got more time in the bottle. This one's kind of developed and it's ready to go. It might be the 2018 vintage. Those wines are generally meant to be drunk younger. It's a younger vintage. I still think it's an excellent wine. Something about it, the tannins make me think it's Barolo. 3 here is more, these wines are so complex. There's a little thyme in here, rosemary, leather, just real pretty. Dried flower. These are massive tannins. I think this just screams Barolo. Again, this is developed like wine number 2, so it's ready to go out of the gate. 3 definitely needs food. 1 you could drink on its own, 2 was coming on the border, and then 3 really needs food, but also could be tannin buildup as you start to taste these wines. When you taste young Nebbiolo, your mouth can start to feel like sandpaper. I think actually I'm gonna go with that being Barolo as well. I don't know. Let's move on to 4. 4, we're going back to more roses, more perfume, more delicate. Sour cherry. This has like a cotton candy note on the back end, kind of. Tough tannin, savory. This is also very good. I don't know if it's Barolo or Barbaresco. Oh, God. You know what? Let's just say Barolo. I have 2 wines left. That means that I'd have to call both of them Barbaresco. I don't know. Let's taste them and see. Let's move on to number 5. 5. Really pretty, lots of fruit forward. The cranberry sticks out right away. The dried cranberries, the sour cherry. Maybe even a little bit of hazelnut in here. Definitely rose petal. It's pretty. This I think is definitely Barbaresco. I like the qualities here a lot. Just really fun to drink. Man, these are good wines. 6 has more tar flavors. That comes right out along with a mud type aroma. A little bit of like a tangerine peel type flavor. Sour cherry, nice. 6 I love. I love the spike of acidity, this tangerine peel like acidity, big time tannins as well. I also, I'm gonna say Barbaresco. I guess I kind of have to. I pigeonholed myself into saying Barbaresco because there are so many Barolos. I have 6 wines. A lot of them are standard Barolo Barbarescos. What I mean is different vineyards are blended in. I think I have 1 single vineyard Barolo here. Let's see what the reveal looks like, shall we? You ready? Okay, some excellent wines here. The 3 that I thought were Barbaresco, I scored the highest, although we don't know if they're Barolo or Barbaresco or not. I generally prefer Barbaresco, like I said earlier, but in blind tastings, you never know. It's funny, the middle 3, 2, 3, and 4 were the ones that had the most development. 1, 5, and 6. They tasted younger. Let's start out with number 3. 3 and 4 were the most developed. 3 leather, a lot of dried flowers. Developed. I thought it was Barolo. I thought it was outstanding. 93 points hard. This is a delicious wine. This is the wine that I said you really need a lot of steak. You need meat right away. Drink this right away. I think it's Barolo. Let's see. It is. This is the Tenuta Cucco. This is the Cerati, a single vineyard Barolo 2018. This comes in at 79 bucks. Barolos, Barbarescos are not cheap. This is a nice, interesting producer. Tenuta Cucco. I think they're in Serra de Alba. Those grapes, yep, it is. Serra de Alba. It's one of the communes in Barolo with made more denser, more tannic Barolos. This is ready to go. 2018 is a vintage you kind of drink right away. Tied with that is number 4, Rose Petal Perfume Delicate. It had like this cotton candy type aroma. It was developed. I gave it also 93 points. It had this unique cotton candy flavor in the back end, which I really liked. I'm going Barolo, 93 points. Ah! This is the Cerati Barbaresco 2020. $64. I haven't tasted a lot of 20s yet. I've tasted a lot of 19s, 18s, 17s, 16. 16's a great vintage for Barolo Barbaresco. Cerati is a legendary producer. Known for their Barolos, I think, a little bit more, but their Barbaresco is excellent, 93 points. And I'm surprised it had the cotton candy note was really something. I haven't had that vintage. Nice job. I'm 1 for 2 here. Barolo Barbaresco, like I said, it's difficult. Let's go to number 2. Developed again, leathery Barolo. I thought this was ready to go, but the leatherness really came out. I gave it 93 plus points. Leather, leather, leather. If you like that type of flavor, I'm gonna say Barolo. And look at, of course, I'm wrong again. This is the Vinchio Vaglio Serra. This is the Barbaresco 2019. This comes in at 37 bucks. I just gave it 93 plus points. This is a cooperative in Eastern Piemonte, known more for Barbera, but obviously they make small quantities of Barolo Barbarescos. I think these are mostly available in Europe. They're Barolos Barbarescos, but you might be able to find them in the US for 37 bucks. I thought that was a heck of a wine. It is developed. 2019 is a fantastic vintage. I feel like it's almost as good as 16, although 16 in recent vintages for me is the jam. Okay, we'll move on to number 5 here. Rose Petal Delicate. I thought it was Barbaresco. The rose petal's the thing that first jumped out at me. 1, 5, and 6, these were all extremely close. Really just pretty wines. I gave this 94 points. I thought it was Barbaresco, and I'm only 1 for 3 here. So let's take a look. 94 points. This is the Vinchio Vaglio Serra. This is the Barolo 2019. This comes in at 39 bucks. So in terms of Barolo, that's an absolute steal. Again, cooperative. They were nice enough to send both these wines, which they don't make in huge quantity. And that's the thing, man. Blind tasting's really powerful. My collector dinner, one of the cheaper Barolos, the Da Milano 2019 Barolo, I thought was one of the wines of the night. And I am 1 for 4 in terms of calling wines. So that's the power of blind tasting here. Number 6, the tar, like number 5, it was all rose petal. Number 6, the tar stood out, although the flavors were quite similar. However, the tar took over. It had this beautiful tangerine peel-like acidity. I think it was excellent. I also gave it 94 points, and I thought it was Barbaresco, but I'm 1 for 4 here. Let's see if I get one of these right here, shall we? This is Barolo. This is the Cerati Barolo 2018. 94 points. This comes in at 69 bucks. This is their standard Barolo. They make a lot of different single vineyard type Barolos. 69 bucks, I think is excellent. 94 points. This is a collectible wine. 2018s usually are a little bit more approachable. You drink them now, but man, this can go the distance. It's a beautiful wine. Number 1 here. Let's see. I called Barbaresco, but let's see how many I have. 1, 2, 3 Barolo, so I guess one of them I'm gonna get right. I called Barbaresco. Perfumed. The tannins were quite soft for this style of wine. I thought it was excellent. 94 plus points. I know it was the first wine but I went back and forth because I wanted to check. 94 plus points. I thought it was Barbaresco, and what is it? This is the 2019 Produttore del Barbaresco, 49 bucks. 2019 Produttore del Barbaresco is a cooperative, one of the greatest cooperatives in Italy, maybe the world. They do fantastic Leghe Nebbiolo. They do single vineyard Barbarescos, which are great, but I think the standard Barbaresco at 49 bucks is a heck of a steal, and it's worth checking out. Produttore del Barbaresco is in the village of Barbaresco, and there's also some great restaurants there you can go in, you can taste. The area of Piemonte, some of these producers you can't get in unless you are somebody in the wine business, so it's something that you can check out. So tell me, are you a Neb head just like me? Do you have any favorite producers? Have you ever done blind tastings like this? Drop it in the comments below.